applause for the Gillespie class of 2010 keynote speaker, Mr. Jason Bonaparte.
Good morning. Come on, guys. I know it's early in the morning. Let's have a little energy. I need some motivation here. Good morning. Thank you. Much better. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Willis for inviting me to speak to you guys on such a momentous occasion. I'm going to try to go on through this beeping noise. It's been very frustrating, but we'll go ahead and go through it. But when I was actually asked to speak to you guys at this graduation, I was very honored. I was so honored that I immediately went home and started to prepare a nice long 30-page speech. It's going to be over an hour long. And I was actually, last night, true story, I was rehearsing this speech, and I kind of came to a moment. I realized that I didn't like the speech. I absolutely hated it. So you know what? I tore it up. I have no speech for you guys today. I have no speech. But before you start clapping, before you start getting too excited, I do have some words that I do want to expunge upon you guys. There's some things I really want to say, but I really feel it would be best if I just say it from the heart. I mean, we're all family in here. Brother, man, to family. Can I talk to you guys from the heart? Is that okay? Are you sure? Because I'll go back and sit down. Okay, well, let me begin with my background. Quenisha said some very nice things about me, and it probably sounds like when I was younger, I was the pillar of the community. I did everything right and was a good student. Well, I have news for you guys. You're absolutely wrong. I was a total menace to society. I didn't care about school. I didn't do my work. But instead of just going through a long spiel about it, I actually found something. I brought in my 7th grade report card. I actually dug through my storage bin, and I'd like to read some of the grades that I got in one quarter. English, F. Wow. History, F. Mathematics, F. Science, F. Physical education, C-. Got a C in gym. My grade point average for that quarter was 0.47. Now, because I got such poor grades, the school board felt that I was not capable of actually being in a normal institution. They put me in these special ed classes. They required me to go see numerous psychiatrists, doctors, because they thought I was mentally unstable. So, when seeing these psychiatrists, they gave me a series of examinations and tests to see what my mental aptitude was. Now, surprisingly, it was determined that I wasn't slow at all. In fact, I scored off the charts. They came back and said, "This guy's a genius. Why are you sending him to us?" So, the board called me into the office one day. I was actually on my way to my class, and they sat in front of me and said, "Jason, why is it that if they're saying you're smart, you get such poor grades?" And I had a simple answer for them. Nobody had ever asked me that question. The answer was, because I don't want to do the work. I don't care. It's a waste of time. So let me tell you guys, when I was growing up, I had this philosophy. When I was you guys' age, I had a philosophy. School is a waste. You know, what's the point of having to get up every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, going outside in the freezing cold, walking 8 blocks to go to school, sitting in a classroom in an uncomfortable chair, listening to a teacher lecture me for 6 to 7 hours, have to do work, then you have the nerve to give me homework. I want to go home and watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Smurfs. I don't want to be doing homework. And the bottom line is, I'm not getting paid for any of this stuff. I'm not getting a dime. Now, there's a saying for making somebody work and not get paid. It's called slavery. And I thought slavery was abolished a long time ago. It's America. It's a free country. So it's not fair to make me have to do work and not receive any type of compensation. So I just didn't do it. It wasn't until I was actually 13 years old where my mother took me over to a friend of hers house. Now, her friend happened to be married to a very wealthy architecture, an African-American man who owned one of the largest architecture firms in Chicago. He's a multi-millionaire. Now, I'll walk into their home, and their home was absolutely fabulous. I mean, you walk in the door, there's $1 million chandelier. They had a butler, and their butler had their own house. The butler's house was bigger than our house. They had this, I mean, they had a swimming pool, exercise room, all the stuff inside their home. And the thing that really just floored me was their television set. They had a TV that was 120 inches. It was the size of the entire wall. They could literally watch 12 different stations at once. They can watch ESPN on one station, HBO on another station, and play video games on another. I was just totally floored by this house. So when I go home, I looked at my mother and I was like, Mom, I wish I could have something like that. How come we can't have anything like that? I want something. I want a house like that one day. And she looked at me and said, you know what, Jason? With grades like this, you're going to be homeless. You can forget that house. But if you start applying yourself today, it's not too late. If you apply yourself, you could one day have a house like that. You can have anything you want. You know, so from that moment on, something just switched inside of me. I started doing my work. I started getting straight A's and B's. Throughout high school, I stayed on the honor roll the entire time. Never got anything lower than a B. I was part of organizations. I applied myself. Because you see, folks, I had a goal. There was something I wanted. Up until this point, I could care less about school. I had no plans for myself. But once I saw that house, I was reaching towards something. So kind of what I want to talk to you guys today is about setting goals for yourself.